After the system was installed, they were 4 years without electricity because they were not able to get together and find a solution to their problems within the community. So they were not able to manage the system by their own because they were having problems managing their own like relationships inside the community. But after 4 years, they learned that if they didn't work out something, they were going to have the no electricity forever. So right now they have electricity, and it's one of the communities that are working like together more than other communities. So yeah.
Good, I see. And what about the technical skills that some people in the community should have, like to keep the project going, like after you leave? Like I don't know if there's some technical failure, or
We give them like basic training. Well, it's not we have like community technicians that work with us that come from, well, they come from other projects, from the first projects that we built, that we helped build. So those guys, they help us with the installation of new systems and with teaching the basically young people in the new communities to manage any basic feature of the system. So if there is like a simple malfunction of any system or the project or anything, they are able to manage it locally. So that's the idea, that they are able to manage their own project without the need of help of someone from outside. And if it's like something that gets out of their hands, they can call the community technicians from the other communities. And also there's a group in WhatsApp where all the communities have a member, like a technician there on the group. And whenever there's something they don't understand or that they don't know how to fix, they can ask it on the WhatsApp, and between all the communities they manage to find a solution. And if the problem is even bigger and they're not able to fix it, they call us, and then we see what we can do. And basically that's how we manage like the issue of the local empowerment of their own systems.
Oh, it's super interesting. Did you found like some situation in which the community was asking for help for a certain project, and then you could see like, okay, maybe this is not the best project for this type of land or something like that? So like, I don't know, you end up like changing a bit the initial proposal?
Well, every time there's a new project, we make a feasibility study of each project. If it's a hydroelectric system, we make a feasibility study. We measure the current of the river. We measure the height. Everything that's necessary to build a hydroelectric system. If it's, I don't know, agroforestry, we go to the land, we see if there are the property of the land, it's very important, and we see if there are lots that are available for the project, and if they're willing to make changes to their traditional use of the land. Always, after we make these feasibility studies, there's a discussion to see which project goes and which is not going through. So sometimes we have to change a little bit, details of the program of the projects, but basically there are like small details, like probably on the feasibility study we said that it was possible to produce, I don't know, 50 kilowatt on that river, but then we found out that it was possible to produce even more or even less. So basically we adapt to the situations, and we have never had a problem with like no, well, we once had a problem, but it was solved promptly before it escalated to something that was like deeming the project impossible.
Oh, I see. Oh. Can you tell us just a bit of how, like, the time frame of a project is? Like,
well, it depends in which kind of project. I worked more with the. I have worked more with the hydroelectric system, so I can tell you more about them, about those. It's like a 2-year span for the project to be completed. It's like the first year you're like requesting funds, like sources for the development of the project, and you're like training the community and how it's going to be like, and how they're going to manage their system, how they're going to manage the money that they're going to. Well, they're going to handle a lot of money. They're going to have to handle a lot of money because they pay for their system, for their use. So we have to train them. And basically the first year is training and completing the feasibility studies. Like now really locating all the components of the system, where are they going to be, what is going to be the track of the pipeline, and we're going to build the dam, we're going to put the generator, and after that it's basically the community building the system. A whole year digging through the mountain to bury the pipes, building the how do you say, the like the dam. It's not that dam, but it's like how do you say? I don't remember the technical word. Sorry, in English, but it's like kind of dam. And
you can say it in Spanish.
The obra de toma, like the obra de toma. And yeah, basically a second year is the community building the system, and well, after the second year, well, you will have electricity. Also, they have to build all the electrical grid, the poles, the cables, all the systems inside the houses and stuff, the breakers.
Good. And
like 2-3 years.
Yeah. And after the project is finished, if there are other expenses, I don't know, like repairs or like maintaining the hydroelectric system, how does it get funded after all this process you told us about?
Yeah, well, each member of the community who worked in the building of the system, they have to pay a fee each month for the use of the electricity. So they pay like 200 Dominican pesos. That's the equivalent of like $5 a month. And with that money, they make a little saving, a community saving. And with that savings, with those savings, they can answer to any inconvenience that, like as you said, if the system needs maintenance, or if something broke up a pipe, or if they have to, I don't know, whatever, paint the power station or whatever, they take the money from there, and they have to create a committee who is going to manage all this money. But it has to be always with a lot of transparency, and it has to be within the community and without any like external influence, because it's their money, and it has to be used only in community projects. Also, we were creating like an inter-community fund, like between all the communities, like a huge fund where they can find more expensive, expensive or more expensive? Well, expensive pieces of the system. That way they can save the money from their savings, because I don't know, if they have to buy a piece that it's like $1,000 and their local fund is like only $1,500, well, they're going to be like almost without money. So we are creating this intercommunity fund in order to manage these kind of eventualities that are more expensive.
Good. Can you tell us where we can find more information about these kind of projects?
Well, you can find there's a website for the SGP. I think it's www.ppsdom.com. I think that's a web page. If not, you can Google like Dominican Republic Small Grants Program, and you will get the first result. It's going to be our webpage. Also, you can look for Guaquilla Ambiente website. It's guakiambiente.org. There you can also find information of these projects. Also, you can find us on Facebook, on Twitter. I think that we also have an Instagram, but it's better if you look for the Facebook SGP or PPS DOM.
Great. Thank you very much, Rafa. It was very interesting to learn about these projects and all the process behind them.
Well, thank you. It's very interesting to answer to your questions here.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
That's a wrap on another episode of UC3P. Thanks for listening, and make sure to subscribe to UC3P on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, or wherever you get podcasts. And I know I said it at the top, but now that you're done with this episode, take a moment and look up The Walk-Ons. The hosts, Josh, Sawyer, and John, did an excellent job with it, and I really think you're going to enjoy it. That's enough from me, David Raban. Stay tuned, and we'll be back next Friday with a brand new episode.